Okay, we're here. We're started.
And we are.
Ozmeister. Let's get the show on the road.
We want to know. Let's go.
Let's go.
We're gonna do this. We both read the chapter already. We want to review it, see what we missed, but overall just talk about the things that we've been thinking ever since the chapter dropped. And let me just tell you, there's a lot to talk about. So without further ado, let's go into it.
Yeah. Okay. So we start off with the chapter titled Harley. And we see the almost the culmination of the Yamato's volume cover story of the Overshell Yamato's Golden Harvest Surrogate Pilgrimage. It was who's all along. Obviously, as we saw the hideout structure, it looked like who's head. So not a big surprise. Kind of concerning that he's still operating. And interesting that, it looks like we have Shima-sons from Wano here. So it seems he's kidnapped. The whole thing about people disappearing seems to be stemming from this. It seems who's kind of taken over Kaido's operation on Wano, but on a smaller scale. I'm very surprised that, unlike King or Queen, when they were captured, it seems, and, they were in the Udon prison afterwards, and it seems that they're under control. It's interesting that who wasn't, captured and brought there, along with some of the other headliners, and Toby Roper that we haven't even seen what happened with them. So it kind of looks like, maybe the Beast Pirates kind of haven't been fully defeated. Are we going to see more of Toby Roper? Are we going to see King and Queen return? Is this cover story going to be kind of like Yamato's personal, fixing of this issue in Wano by defeating the remainders of the Toby Ropo and the Beast Pirates by herself, or with assistance from some of the other scabbards and casts? What do you think?
I think you're onto something. I think you're pretty much summed up the story about Yamato and finishing off the rest of Kaido's subordinates. I think it's really cool. Who's is still around. I thought he was dead after Jinbei. Yeah, but cool to see he's sticking around. Yeah, I mean I remember who's really strong, but could it be that Kaido's still in action? I don't know, man. Kaido's he's just taking after Kaido. How does he know what to do necessarily? Maybe just knows based off working with him. This is what's got to be done. Anyways, I think that's a good analysis. We can go on.
Okay. Sounds good. Let's get it started. Okay, page one. So here we have Huff Loki. Huff, for much as you look like him, you gotta be related to that red-haired pirate. And then the female says, hold your tongue, that's something you need to know.
Well, not just any female. Gunko. We know it.
Gunko. That's her name, that's right.
Yeah, sorry.
True, it ain't my business, but a great parent, a celestial dragon stand on opposing sides of world power. The fact that you have the same face is bound to draw curiosity. That pirate is my strange younger twin brother. Oh, so Viz, here is confirming that it's his twin.
Yes.
Now, is this Viz's insider knowledge, or is this Viz's own spin on the chapter? Because a lot of the other translations, I don't know if they really said twin.
They said it was a twin too. They said it was a twin as well. Remember Obi's hands?
I read. Didn't.
Yeah. It talked about how they're twins, and how Shamrock was he came back to marry Joa. He learned some of the past, and then he liked this. He liked the pirate world a lot more.
Okay. Yeah. So he returned to the Holy Land once, but he seems to prefer the filth of the lower world. Return. I see then bloodline has earned my ire twice over. How fascinating that two separated brothers should each be targeted by wrath. You'll rue this day. Hee ha ha. Once they get these chains off. So it seems Shanks, right? He went to marry Joa and decided to go back to being a pirate. Okay, the next thing is, you know what'll happen, don't you?
Well, the implications of that is that Shanks was he grew up with this way, he really liked the way he was going, but he also somehow learned about his celestial dragon heritage. So he's brought back somehow. We don't know anything about that excursion or how he was able to go back to Marijoa.
Mm-hmm.
I think sooner or later we'll know more about how Shanks is like went back. But it's just cool to note that we finally get confirmation that the person that went to the Gorosei all the way back wasn't Shanks, and it was actually Shamrock. So for the people, including myself, who doubted Shanks, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was part of the team Rat Shanks for a little bit.
Dude, Rat Shanks has been like the biggest community agenda push I've ever seen. I think it's even more than like the Mihawk paints his sword black type crap, or like Blackbeard has like three devil fruits, or that whole shebang. This has like been the biggest, I think, community-wide agenda piece for years.
Yeah, when we watched One Piece Film Red and we saw that, by spoilers, but Shanks just like, did something bad to, what's her name?
Uta.
Uta.
Yeah.
Like left Uta. I was like, oh my gosh, Shanks is back. He's like, my agenda went back. Like, oh my gosh, Shanks is evil. He's still evil. But then I was like confused at the end because like Shanks did it for a good purpose. Like, you know what? Like he's good, but I'm still sus. So it wasn't until like last chapter, this chapter, where that was like fixed. Whatever.
Because he still abandoned her and didn't like try to like console her or like really protect her. He just let her kind of spiral. He was like, oh crap, you got this like OP devil fruit. Let me just dip.
Let me just dip. Kill. Then the Uda went on a rampage. He like destroyed the whole city, man.
Do you think Yasop was like told you so you shouldn't deal with kids or something? Or like after this situation, Yasop was like, I gotta stop visiting back home.
I think he's the latter. I think Yasop wants to be a good dad. He just doesn't have it in his bones to be one.
Yeah. What do you think of that?
It's like Goku. Like Goku in that way.
No, that's fair. Like going on a tangent a bit, but do you think like Usopp will be a father figure later with like Kaya, or do we think like he'll be like the full on adventuring type? Like he'll just be an adventurer his whole life in a way.
Good question. Very good question. I definitely see Usopp learning from the his father's failures and like being a good dad. I actually feel like part of I don't know where I heard this, but I've been thinking about it a lot. Like the narrator is actually Usopp, so he's kind of like a storyteller in the story, where like he's telling over all the straw, like he's telling over the Straw Hats adventures and overall like the world events.
I like that.
As he becomes a hero. Yeah.
I kind of like that train of thought with Usopp being the narrator, because it kind of fits the whole him being a storyteller type thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get back on track. So it says, you know what'll happen, don't you? I watched my friend's face decided before my eyes, and now I bear the cost of it. You dream of threatening me? Commander, don't let him. Indeed, it's not worth dirtying my own hands. You do it. Cerberus. Caribus.
Oh, and now we see this was so awesome to see.
Yeah. And like
raging dogs, bro. This was so awesome seeing in the chapter. It was just like, okay, everyone thought like, whoever's like, into theory piece knows like there's like a theory between like with like Blackbeard having like a Cerberus fruit, so you can have like 3 fruits.
Yeah.
But like it being a sword fruit was epic. It was epic. Crazy. Seeing like how it works too. Just keep going. I'm just saying.
But also like Look at the wake. It has the evil awakening clouds. It has the black clouds.
Yes, it does. It does have the evil awakening clouds.
Like what does that mean? We know Lucci, we know Kaku, we know the world government. All fruits and awakenings associated with that, or at least seemingly awakenings, seem to have the black clouds. Not the white clouds of Yamato and Luffy.
Exactly. There's something going on. I think it has to do with Imu's influence in terms of like bestowing power. I think Imu's able to bestow powers.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So, this ability, like these black clouds, definitely have to come from like this like evil source of sorts.
Could that be a corruption?
Like a devil fruit corruption?
Yeah, kind of like you know, how
manipulation.
like we know Luffy has this kind of more honorable or seemingly honorable dream, and he has these like this dream of freedom. Whereas the world government people have this dream or desire for oppression. So a lot of the theory back when Egghead was going on was that the black flame symbolized kind of like sinful desires, whereas the white symbolizes more holy desires. And I wonder how that plays into it because we know these characters like the Gorosei, quite possibly the Holy Knights, the way they were summoned like the Gorosei to Albath. It seems like it's not even limited to places where maybe Imu has been or his subordinates have been. It could be that Imu is able to teleport anyone anywhere. Or maybe his subordinates can teleport themselves using his power.
Yeah, you have a good point. I think there might be some sort of emotion or like a motivation behind each of the color of the clouds in terms of like values of sorts.
Mm-hmm. What do you think this plays into Yami no Mi?
The Yami no Mi?
Yeah.
Well, obviously it's all about darkness.
Yeah. And you see how like it kind of looks like darkness forming, or like these dark clouds. Like, what do we think is really the Yami no Mi? Like, what is the truth behind it?
It's really hard to tell because we don't know so much, but I definitely think it's a mythical Zoan. It's not your typical Logia fruit. It's not your typical Logia fruit where he's able to phase in and out of attacks. Like, in fact, he takes double damage.
Yeah, because it absorbs damage on top of the damage he already takes.
Yes.
So it's not even like normal Logia to prevent damage. He's getting double the damage. It's like he's getting the it's kind of like the other Logias are able to have their freedom in a sense, thanks to his only Logia being able to take double, or is his not even a Logia? Like you said, it could be a Zoan.
Yeah. I think it's definitely like related to some sort of god. I mean, we got some of the like information about like what like the first world ended up being turned into darkness.
Yeah.
So there could be something related to that, between like the Earth God and like the Serpent. Maybe the Earth God is Yami no Mi. Well, I really like that so much.
And it's shrouded the world in death and darkness.
Yeah,
and together with the Serpent of Infernal Flames shrouded the world in death and darkness.
Because if Blackbeard is the Earth God, then that would mean Emu is the Forest God. Which could make sense, because Emu's surrounded by all that nature and shit.
Yeah, with the flowers and also... It seems like devilish powers coming from Emu. We know the tree Eve is on Mary Jawa. Could that be connected to it? Like Emu could very well be, the forest god, maybe even the sea god, the whole thing with the sea god. But I feel like the sea god seems to be more of, with the sun god, as... We'll get into this later, I think, more, but it seems to be maybe on the good or neutral side, I want to say. Maybe we should talk about this next, right? When we get to the mural.
Yeah, I just want to go over and say, like, I'm happy to see some more dog representation in One Piece. I love dogs.
Yeah. Wasn't the other weapon devil fruit also a dog?
Cannon? In Alabasta?
Yeah.
What's the guy's name? Hold up. Cannon dog.
Look that up. It's such a cool thing to like...
Lasso.
Yeah. And
yeah.
so
the beginning of One Piece, there's a dog that I loved, like in the when Bucky's taking over a village. Yeah, Choo Choo.
I love Choo Choo.
Yeah, Choo Choo.
Best dog in One Piece.
Yes, best dog in One Piece.
It's based on the story of that dog that waited. I think it was like by that train station in Japan for like years or something, right? Or something like that.
Yeah.
It was like that story. I forget what it's called.
I like that story a lot. It was also like paralleling Luffy's treasure, that him being his hat, while Choo Choo's treasure, him being that home of his.
That was a big thing in personal treasure.
Yes.
The things
personal treasure. So
And
okay,
also-
keep going.
Well, also to get back to this, because my original theory about the Cerberus was that was the name of the sword. And so my original theory was that, maybe this is the sword's spirit. Maybe Shamrock is able to utilize the sword's spirit. Like, the name of the sword is able to awaken the entity of what the name of the sword is. And I was thinking back on Wano, when Zoro, after the fight with King, we see the Grim Reaper show up. And we don't really get an explanation of that. But we know Enma is the king of hell, right? And there's this whole hell theme starting to come up with Zoro. And, a Grim Reaper shows up. And I was thinking, maybe this is Enma's sword spirit. Maybe Enma's like the Reaper. And, maybe Zoro, with a lot of Conqueror's infusion into a sword, and a sword with like its own personality, as Enma was shown to have, is able to awaken, the spirit of that sword. And
I have so much to talk about this.
And I was thinking that maybe Shamrock is at that next tier of swordsman. Like you have the top tiers of the main swordsman, which I think Zoro's at now. He's at that point where he's able to use infusion of Conquerors with his sword, and he's gonna have to master that. And it seems like he's able to unconsciously summon maybe the sword spirit. That's my own headcanon analysis of it. And the next step after mastering sword spirit summoning, which is maybe what Shamrock is doing, is getting the Black Blade. And that's what Mihawk and Ryuma had. Maybe they're able to summon both the spirit and have a Black Blade. And that's like the highest level. But because of these black clouds surrounding Cerberus, I'm starting to lean more towards it being a devil fruit sword. But I really like the whole notion of like sword spirits and how that plays, because we do have this whole notion of swords having their own will based on Enma and other Wano swords.
There's so much to talk about when it comes to this. So I'm a very firm believer that there's there's an awakening of sorts when it comes to a sword and their wielder.
Mm-hmm.
That awakening being a black blade, when the will of the sword and the person is so connected on a deep level, they both work in tandem. So that's what creates a black blade. Same way that like a devil fruit user would use their fruit, their mind and body work together in tandem to create an awakening of sorts, where they're able to freely manipulate their fruit to their will.
Mm-hmm.
That's just one. I think here, which is very confusing in general, like we know from Wano that swords do have wills. I think Zoro was able to take out some of the will. That's what like that Conqueror's like hockey was like, that green aura of sorts. Was like he's able to take some out of Enma. And I think you're onto something, saying there's some sort of sword spirit, but I think it's more of the will of the sword, will of Enma that's influencing Zoro. Like, it could be maybe a sword spirit. I think that's a cool idea. It's like a very like a Bleach-esque.
It is very Bleach-esque. It's kind of I love Bleach.
It would be cool. What I find interesting is when making a sword with a devil fruit, does the will of the welder and the will of the devil fruit clash? And if so, does Shamrock, or Fujitora for that matter, not only be handling one will and trying to bend with it, but actually try to bend two wills?
That's very interesting to think about. Because it seems like you need a certain suppression of the at least in this case zone, because the zone definitely we also know has its own will as well. So
yes.
Maybe Fujitora has like the gravity devil fruit. And that's a Paramecia, so that's easier to control or manipulate. Maybe he channels when he draws the blade, he channels utilizing its power to pull with gravity. But in this case, a zone has its own will. Maybe either that influenced the blade to become the name Cerberus, or maybe Shamrock has to control two different wills, which is a very big feat, I feel like.
Yeah, it's a huge feat. It also, I think, would make it harder to get a Black Blade.
Yeah.
If we're going based off by definition of how to get a Black Blade, is like like the user and the and the will of the Sora, are so in tandem with each other.
I also find it kind of interesting that Mihawk is the only one. Like, I feel like it's Oda's way of saying that he is the pinnacle of swordsman of the modern era. But it's also like...
Do you think Mihawk's a holy knight? Was a holy knight?
No, I think he was a regular pirate hunter. Like, I think he was like the not a pirate hunter, marine hunter. He was kind of like the opposite of Zoro in a way. Like, Zoro was a pirate hunter as a bounty hunter, but Mihawk was a marine hunter as a pirate.
Dude, the guy looks loaded in cash. The guy is dressed well at every occasion.
Dude, that's what happens.
Like, he looks like he comes from nobility. He looks like his name is Dracula Mihawk. He's Dracula, bro.
Dude, he pulled up on Don Krieg with his gold. Don Krieg had a golden hawk. He pulled up on him and cut his boat in half. Like, he's good. Don Krieg had the capital in the East Blue, mind you, to have a full armor, gold armor suit.
No, for sure. I mean, I think that, I was just watching Dax Sake today, and he was talking about how, weapons are strong in One Piece. Weapons, it's not just about your powers or hockey, but weapons are strong. In fact, the ancient weapons were so influential in the war that the world is flooding because of ancient weapons. It's Krieg was on something. Krieg was on something.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dax Sake.
But at the end of it, it's pretty interesting seeing another usage of devil fruits, possibly with swords. And I think I like the train of thought that it is a devil fruit. I think it makes sense, especially with the black clouds. And how does a devil fruit in a sword awaken? Because if it has these awakening clouds,
right?
And how does that? And how does someone control that? Like, I feel like it has to be hockey related. I feel like you have to have conqueror's hockey, or at least strong. Ryuo in order to manipulate your will into the blade and control the will. And I feel like somebody like Shamrock, commander of the God's Knights, would have conquerors, especially with his Figureland family lineage.
Very good possibility he has conquerors.
Yeah.
Very good possibility he has a very well possibility he has conquerors.
Yeah.
Could it be high levels of Conqueror's hockey can do more things? I think Conqueror's hockey in general does a lot more than we think. It is the aspect of adding force, and force in very ethereal terms can bring out a lot out of something. It's not just a force of repulsion, but it can also mean force of abilities, force of awakenings. It could be that Emu has the ability to kind of force an awakening, which reasons why the black clouds exist.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be Conqueror's hockey. It could be also the forest god's bestowal of devil fruits.
That would make sense a lot.
Yes. It's really cool.
I feel like hockey is a big player more and more as we see in this new world.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Definitely a big player.
Yeah.
Let's keep going.
Okay. Starts off. Whoa, that's creepy. What's wrong with them? It seems that Cerberus fully formed with the blades in its mouth coming out of each of its mouths, and it looks like its collars are rotating. And it says, "Extinguish your presence, Commander. We need to move. Scramble." And it seems Scramble is a way for him to remotely send out the dog. And you see how it launches in this panel over here? It launches its head off by spinning its collar. It's able to remotely remove its head and send them out as kind of missiles. And this reminds me of what's his face, Queen, who was able to be like true dinosaurs back in the day. They were able to detach the long part of their body and shoot out like the Brachiosaurus could shoot out the snaky portion of its body from its main body, or what's his face, that Frankie Fraud Sasaki. He was able to become a helicopter by rotating his Triceratops head. This kind of reminds me of that. Maybe this is the awakening part of Cerberus, that he's able to launch his head as missiles.
Yeah, like the freely control aspect.
Exactly.
I really didn't know. I didn't notice. I didn't pick up on the rotating collar bit.
Yeah, you see here like zoop, zoop, and it looks like the motion, and then you see here it's rotating. It's a really aggressive expression. And then it launches at like it looks like it's launching out, and it's going up. It says return. He says return, which means like I think he's returning the blade portion and launching a remote portion. That's why he's like scramble and return. And if you could survive, come and kill me, I'll be ready for you. And Loki's like, wait a second. And then next is, you have to be joking. And you don't mean it. Even I can get run through by those. Cursed celestial dragons, damn you to hell. And now the remote heads pierce him very badly. It looks like two to the lower, stomach, one through possibly the lung or heart. Which would be crazy. If that's the heart, he has to be dead. If it's through the lung or the center of the chest, he could survive. But this is crazy. Because
you know he's living.
Loki has to live. He's so important. I feel like to this story. I feel like it would be crazy if Oda kills him. That would be wild. Pacifying them all at once would be too hard. We need to go to get to the warrior's children first. Call one more. Very well. Which one? So it seems another God's Knight is going to be summoned here, and I think they're going to be targeting kidnapping the kids to kind of threaten the giants into submitting to the world government. Now,
I hate
him so much. But why all of a sudden are they making him the giants? Why is it now that Post Wano, Luffy's showing up, they know this is Shanks' territory. Why are they making him now? Why not 2 years ago? Why not 3 years ago? Why is it now? Right?
It's a good question. Can you answer it?
I don't have a good answer. My bet is that because based on recent events in the world, losing the Shichibukai, getting the Seraphim, having this whole upheaval with the Yonkos, I think the world government knows, especially with Luffy's awakening and events of the Reverie, that they need more, firepower. Because I think they're expecting more, especially with dragons attack on the Celestial Dragons. I think they want to gear up, and they want to get the strongest fighters on the Grand Line, which on average is the Giants. So I think that's their move right now. I think they're gearing up for the war.
So they're making more aggressive moves.
Yeah. Also, I wonder. I'm really interested to see this third God's Night. This is gonna be cool.
I'm seeing this now. There's also an alpaca that ate the. There's a bazooka that ate the alpaca Zoan devil fruit.
I remember that. That was so funny. Oh my gosh. Dude, Oda's
That's nuts.
I forget who was saying it. I think it was Tech, and he was like, One Piece really feels like some kid sitting in like his playroom and grabbing all those random action figures and just like combining them into like some random mumbo jumbo story. Like, oh, these samurais are gonna fight these robots right now, and one of them is a dragon, and like it's kind of, it really feels like the hodgepodge type of thing like you do as a kid,
Yeah, it does. A lot of anime does that.
Yeah.
Check out Al Pacino.
So funny.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on this? Like Shanks, Luffy, Shamrock? Maybe what?
No.
Okay.
I really can't tell you about why they're deciding to make moves now. I mean, Dragon kind of told us like if they start making moves now, it is going to be. What was the thing you said about making moves?
The war is really going to start. Once the God's Knights are mobilized, the real war starts.
Exactly.
And it seems that they're being mobile. It seems that they've been kind of inactive or on reserve for a while and not needed. And the world government is seeing now that Dragon isn't big enough of a threat. The Yonko are big enough of a threat right now. They need to start making their moves. And they need to start bringing up the East and the whole of the world government.
Yeah.
Do you think Dragon gets mobilized in Elbaf? Do we think he gets, somehow gets word that they're here? Do we think Shanks returns to Elbaf and sees Shamrock? Do we think Luffy's the one that beats Shamrock or Dragon, or how do you I feel like there's a lot of variables here that are going on.
We'll see. I think I have something cool to point out soon when we go further. But I think we should continue.
Okay. So let's go. So the next part we have here, Aru's Castle Elbaf. I know what I saw. It was red hair. Liar. Shanks wouldn't beat you guys up without a good reason. But it's true. I'd recognize him anywhere. Red hair has been to Elbaf many times. Yeah, I guess you would. Shanks is really cool. This guy must have just like him. We were shocked to see him. We thought, what's he doing inside the castle? Red hair was just in Elbaf, right? So it's not out of the question that he would still be in the area. That's what Zoro says. But if what you're saying is true, that wasn't Shanks. Shanks is a cheerful guy who isn't full of himself. And he never does anything messed up like that. You trust him so much, ha ha ha. Nami's kind of like joking in a way. And then Luffy doesn't really get the joke. He's like, of course I do. Look, Nami, wouldn't you be mad if someone said stuff like that about Molly Mayer? And Nami's like, you mean Bellamere? Now she gets ticked off that Luffy's like, angry for getting a name. So I guess they were two identical people. Maybe they're brothers. Shanks' brother? I guess that could be true. But I've never heard of him talk about his family. Just that he was on the perch ever since he was little. I thought Roger and Rayleigh, those guys were his family. Roger Pirates, aside from Buggy. Because, Luffy hates Buggy and he wants to, mess with him. But we see here, you see this guy at the bottom?
Yeah.
There? That's this guy. And that's the same guy that we saw talking to Crocus in that one cover story. And we also saw him near the end of Egghead, beginning of Elbaf, on that cliffside. This character has been... I think it's the same guy. I think this could be Scooper Gaban. I think he's been on Elbaf for a while. Scooper Gaban, yeah. And I think he's falling into the castle. I think he heard the noise. I think he's following Luffy. Some people say cheeky. I don't think so. I think the whole thing, we know what's her face said she was with a human. I'm thinking that it's Scooper Gaban. I think this is the father of that kid. I think we're about to get some big info. And it could what would be the craziest thing? This could be like the man marked by flames. This could be the lurking legend, the guy with the eye patch signifies that near the end of the One Piece story. Like this, but I feel like the most likelihood is Scooper Gaban, but it's so interesting that he's making a move like now. He's coming up to the castle. And he's not taking the stairs too, right? You see?
Yeah, he's just doing it.
Yeah.
He's just doing it.
What do you think?
I can't wait to see what I can't wait for next chapter, man. It's really like
it's Sunday. Getting it this week. Getting it this week. Dude,
Oda's been on fire, man.
He's cooking with fire. Not electricity. He's cooking with gas and fire.
Oh, look.
What do you think brings to the fact that Luffy is willing to jump to the conclusion that it's more likely that Shanks has a sibling than the fact that Shanks would act this way. Which goes to show Shanks' character and Luffy's understanding of his character. But it's very interesting that, this kind of sets up in a way for that when Luffy does see a Shanks character in Elbaf, he's more inclined to believe that that's the mysterious figure that's not Shanks, right?
Yes, I think he's going to be a lot smarter than we think he's going to be.
Yeah, I think there's a chance that he'll be like, is that Shanks? No, that's not Shanks. He doesn't have the scar, he doesn't have the left arm gone. He's in nice clothes, and he has this mean attitude.
I think he'll pick up on it.
Yeah, I think so too. We see the next Team Frankie, Jewel Tree Adam. Wait. Why is it skipping so much? Okay. So Team Frankie, Jewel Tree Adam, Tor. Hey there, everywhere. It's all Adam.
Yeah. Pause.
Yeah.
This girl right here has a whole body tattoo of a line crossing over her eye down to wherever it goes. Anyways.
Do you think it could wrap around her?
what if Dragon has a similar body tattoo?
Oh, like maybe we're getting it zoomed out and we don't see it so well, but maybe if it gets zoomed in, maybe we'll see it better and it's close.
Well, Dragon also wears full body clothing, so we can't see. There's more tattoos to go, but we might have a. We don't know for sure, but like just gives me the idea. Dragon may be connected to this place, or maybe he's connected to the Skypeans. Who knows? Just a thought.
Yeah. I feel like we'll see something soon with the mural. I want to talk about Dragon's tattoo also. And I think what's interesting is that we see this long line going straight down, which is kind of like a very Viking war paint type thing to do. And this is also the woman. What's her name? It's she's married. She's married or had a child with a human, and I think that's Scott Bond.
Might be that guy.
Yeah. I guess it's not that rare after all. Is it really that valuable to see? Maybe I should go into business and start selling it. She's kind of being like Nami here. You're the one who should be stopping it. I forgot. Soul already sold me once. This is a holy treat. Don't go cutting pieces of it loose now. Haha, good impression. Anyway, if you have to cut the wood and haul it off without any judge noticing, I guess that explains the price. What's that? It's a mural. They are children's drawings from the ancient past, carved into the fossilized tree bark. It's a cultural relic due to its historical value. So it's children's drawing. I'm thinking she's assuming what they're giant children, ancient giant children, regular children. What do you think?
It might be Joy Boy, bro. I think Luffy, from what we know, has very bad drawing abilities.
Yeah.
And if he's like a direct descendant of Joy Boy, it's very much the case that Joy Boy can be the same way.
Yeah, because you see in the bottom, it kind of looks like goofy child like renditions of things, right? Like this is like kind of like his drawing style. And we see there on the back.
Give him credit. Give Joy Boy credit, or whoever did do it. It is much better than Luffy's. It is so much better than Luffy's drawings. But I digress.
They're estimated to have been drawn somewhere between 800 and 900 years ago, which puts them right within the period of the century. What? Frankie goes like, he's like, we gotta show this to Robin. I'll tell her about it later. He's like, this is hella important. There's no way. It's gotta say for a drawing from Oa, they don't all look like giants to me. That's right. In the historical history we're familiar with, there were sometimes wars between the races, but never cultural exchange. That's interesting to think about. So based on what their understanding of the world was that there was sometimes war between races, giants fighting fishermen, long arms fighting long legs, like we saw. In that part, we saw that early in the story. Fishermen versus humans, Minks versus Scorpions, let's say. Like it seems that multiple races were fighting each other. And there was never a cultural exchange. That's why we notice it's interesting is that every island has a unique culture. Nobody is like combining cultures. Even to this day. It's very
every race lives with their people.
Yeah.
But Big Mom tried to do it. Big Mom tried to do like a island filled with people from their cultures.
And I think because she saw the Harley text. I think Big Mom grew up in a way where she learned this from Ripley, let's say, or the other people, and was like, everybody was, isolated and fighting all the time, and Big Mom was like, I don't like fighting, I don't like all this, and maybe, I want it to be a but she got kind of corrupted along the lines, but that's how it seems. But what's simply really interesting here is Ripley says, maybe that simply means there's nothing more than a child's dream. Like as if the mural isn't accurate, maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's just some kid dreaming. I don't think so. I think it's what actually happened. But it also plays into the thing that we said back in Skypea, a dream within a dream. That's an adventure.
Yes.
And the whole thing about that scientist from that physicist in Skypea. I can pull up volume 24. So as there's a ship that's falling over the sky, and it drops on top of the straw hats, and we get that color spread. and they're trying to do the excavation, like the salvaging thing, and they meet the Master brothers. The Monkey Brothers. So the quote is, anything man can imagine is a possibility in reality. Willie Karen, physicist. So similar to Louis, which is another important historical figure, along with Black Nolan that we learn about. So this Willie Karen mentions that anything is possible in the world of One Piece. Which is very interesting. It's kind of like a dream. Anything is possible in a dream. It's kind of like the whole notion that this could be just one big dream world, in a sense.
No, I don't want that.
Wouldn't it be crazy if Luffy is just telling us a story? Is telling a story to Ace and Sabo back as a kid, or maybe he's sleeping right now, and this is all just stuff he's dreaming up. Like that would be the craziest thing. But I don't like that. But it's very interesting to think about that this whole notion of dreams, being both something that you sleep at night and come up with something wacky, but also something about your wish for the future, like something you want to happen in the future. And I think the notion here for saying nothing more than a child's dream could also be a way of saying this is nothing more than kind of like a prophecy in a way. Or this is something that is wished to be happening. Right
here. I mean, the devil fruits are very much like those.
Yeah. Remember what did tell me what Vegapunk said.
Vegapunk talked about how devil fruits, in essence, were created in the image of people's imagination. People necessarily willed things into existence, willed these powers into existence. People wanted to evolve, and so they were gifted with devil fruits with the capacity to evolve past their means. That's why these devil fruits exist. That's why Nika continues to exist, because
even after that.
Despite the avid attempt at erasing him from history, there are still people who learn from the memory of Nika, which is so interesting because Gold Roger talks about you don't really die when you're dead, you die when you're forgotten, and you see that Gold Roger was so influential in his time. And it was.
Dude, that's a great
I don't know. It's really cool. Yeah.
Hero says that
you. What?
A man dies when he's forgotten. Hero said that also. In Drum Island.
There's a definite, it's a big theme, and I think it's, Nika is one of those people that, he's been so influential. He's been a star in so many people's lives.
Yeah.
That it's just, despite the world attempts to erase Nika from existence, it's just the positivity goes on.
It's a very big notion with the sun being referenced, being in association with joy, happiness, also with
desire.
What was the other thing I was going to say? Desire, even worship, and a lot of that fits into the whole Nika liberator and bringing joy theme, It's very tied into the sun, like the powers of the sun in a way. Going further in this, we see the Walrus School, where Robin's group is. Listen up, children. We're in the middle of a lesson. The Owl Library. Now we have... So this is where Robin is. So this is the Harley. Sure it is. Wow, it's huge and old. Walk and dusty. All the various myths and legends of Elbaf were created based on the original text. Since there are so many interpretations of it, which is interesting. So there's original text and there's many interpretations on that original text. Kind of what one. It's very meta because that's what the community has been doing. Is there's so many different interpretations right now. Everybody has their own spin on it, and it fits. It's so meta and it fits so well because it's kind of like poetry in a way. And it's the same thing with in Wano with Toki, she's speaking that way. She's from the Void Century. It's a very Void Century, also like biblical way of speaking in poetry. You see in the Navi and the Tanakh, a lot of the text is in a very poetic structure. Same with Psalms, and I think it's very similar to this, where people are trying to interpret it the same way, people now are trying to interpret the past text, which are in a more poetic structure. And it goes on and it means the sun god, all the warriors of Albath believe in, has different personality depending on who tells the story. Ain't that funny? Ha 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 ha. May I read it? So isn't that interesting? Ain't that funny? So depending on the who's telling the story and the interpretation, the sun god could be, this destruction, or maybe he's the word of liberation, depending on who is viewing it, right?
Right.
And of course, the story is split up into 3 chapters. They say the third chapter describes the world we live in today. It's about something that's going to happen in the future. In fact, the legends of Nika are all seated all throughout the world. The one common feature is that it always shows up laughing to this rhythm. Doom da da, doom da da. Shall I read it now? The first world. Within the earth there was fire. Mankind. Doom da da, doom da da. And he's doing the Nika dance. So the whole thing that's consistent in the legend of Nika is the drums of liberation dance that we see happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
He is just positive to just Nika positive. It's all Nika positive.
Mm-hmm. And here it is, the big
boy.
The big boy.
Big boy.
I'm gonna get it zoomed up more. So the first world, Nika's world. Within the earth there was fire. Mankind succumbed to greed and touched the forbidden sun. The enslaved prayed, and the sun god appeared. The earth god raged, and with its serpent of hellfire shrouded the world in death and darkness. And they will never meet. The second world. Within the void there was breath. The forest god tamed demons, and the sun spread the fires of war. Those of the half-moon dreamed. Those of the moon dreamed. Man killed the sun and became God, and the sea god stormed, and they will never meet. The third world. Within the chaos there was emptiness. The inconvenient remnants recall the promised day and hear the voice of the half-moon. Interesting. The sun god dances and laughs, guiding the world to its end. The sun returns and brings a new morning, and they will surely meet. Okay. Huge thing to unpack here.
What's going on, man? Here.
There's
so much.
So much.
My mind was like blown seeing this panel.
I was at work when I read this, and I my mind actually exploded. I had to take a bit before I could get back to work. I was like, oh my god.
I was like kind of checked out for a little bit.
Yeah. It's a lot. It's a huge info dump. I think this is like the biggest info dump in a way we've seen in a long time. Even probably the whole One Piece so far.
Yes.
Okay.
There's a lot we got. From what we've gathered, there was like this mural either depicts two of these worlds or 3 of these worlds. For the most part, I think it is 2 of these worlds. Half is the first world, and the second half is the second. Some people believe that these worlds are like this mural is split into 3. Mm-hmm. Which it could be possible, but like let's start from the beginning. The first world, like within the earth there was fire. Mankind succumbs to greed, whatever. From what we see so far, it looks like there were skyscrapers, there's people, there were slaves. I think this first world was very similar to the world we live in today. Very developed society in terms of people just living around, building cities, civilization.
Skyscrapers here, we see these elevators, the gears, like this seems like a technological era.
Yeah.
Right.
It just seems that due to the rapid technological growth that the god of the earth hated you see all the smoke coming up. Maybe like the god of the earth got pissed off at you're not taking care of the planet or something like that. Some weak stuff like that. I don't know.
Kind of fits into the current world and the whole environmental movement, saying like kind of killing the planet with all this technological pollution in a way.
Yeah.
And I feel like here in the One Piece world, I feel like it's more direct. Like we see here, within the earth there was fire. So fire within the earth is for one thing. I guess in our world, a simple thing. You could say geothermal heat. You could say lava or magma, rather. I think those are two big things. But something interesting to think about is that we see people coming from the city and going down this elevator. And they're going inside the fire of the earth, right? And we see it's like kind of like a chasm, like it doesn't look like there's an end in a way. And the ones that are coming up are holding these sun or star-looking things, right? And they're carrying it on their backs over here, and they're dropping it into the city, it looks like. Which makes me think that this whole notion of within the earth there was fire, mankind succumbed to greed and touched the forbidden sun. These are like the forbidden suns. And maybe people were mining for some sort of special energy within the One Piece world. Maybe the One Piece world has these special type of flames, like the mother flame, for example, that are naturally occurring within the Earth's, crust in the underworld layers of the Earth. Maybe the Earth, even on the top level, was covered in this type of fire, and people were taking it and using it because it's a powerful energy source, as we see from Vegapunk's ancient weaponry creation with the mother flame that he made. That was able to be utilized as a great power source for great destruction, and possibly in this world used for war and technological innovation. What do you think?
I think I know. I think where you're going off of is awesome. I think the whole fact that the eternal flame was found underground and it's not something that's like necessarily the sun itself, but something to its likeness. I like that a lot. I'm just kind of just honing in on like the bottom right of the mural, with all like the people operating machinery, and the machinery itself, and the people on the right side of the elevator. They have some sort of like thing over their heads, like a halo.
I noticed
they
that too.
don't have wings. They don't have wings. And then we see people on the left side of the mural. We see a Lunarian or some sort of Skypian. With an actual halo and wings. So very interesting. Cool things. Like we've seen Birkins, we've seen regular like Skypians with like either they have wings or they have like the antennas, but we don't see halos.
We don't see halos. And it also makes it interesting is the ones before that elevator don't have halos, the ones on that right elevator have halos, and then the ones on the left do not have a halo. And I'm wondering, what that means. Like is it some sort of, protective gear? Is it some technological helmet or thing that goes with them? It's interesting.
Very interesting.
And we also see here that they're on a high structure. Whether that be, it doesn't even look like a structure. It looks like it may be, Earth, like a high Earth mound here. And then it goes down and comes back up, and here we have a high Earth thing. Now, something I was thinking that this kind of looks like an elephant in a way. You notice that?
Yeah.
And what I was thinking is that we see Noah's Ark here, and we see animals in pairs of two animals. Looks like two people, two animals, and they're all going in this direction towards Noah's Ark. Kind of like the original, story in the Torah about Noah's Ark, collecting animals of the world, and to save them from this great flood. And it's interesting that we're seeing the Noah's Ark on the right side. So if we're let's say we're planning to split it down like roughly the middle, and this seems to be on the right. But if we split it down here-ish, then it's part of the left side. Right. So it depends on how you split it, because also why would it be inside this elephant-looking thing? Is this an elephant-looking thing? Could this be water? Could this be also Earth? We don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
Were you focusing on like that whole area of like that darkness?
Yeah, you see with the nose arc and what it's surrounded by. But it looks like there are people climbing on top of it and going back over. We see this king on top of the trunk with two oars below it.
Which is confusing. It might for a second, but it's not really Zunesha.
Mm-hmm. That's why I'm like.
But if it was Zunesha, it's very interesting.
And we see animals and people. Like, is this saying that minks are natural? Maybe they were, kind of like chimeras in a way, kind of like fused together in some way, or is this saying that people died in a flood and the Noah's Ark, whether saved or failed at saving them? Who knows in the storyline? But we also see why is there, a winged race just here, just like randomly here. What does that mean? So someone, I think it was Archer was saying that it's not Zunisha, maybe it's a flood. And that kind of like what we were saying is that the Noah's Ark failed. As we saw in the text in and the fact that Noah was on the bottom of the ocean by Fishman Island, I think the Noah's Ark failed. I think it failed. So unlike in our world where you could say nobody believed in Noah and God wanted to go to Noah's Ark with the animals and Noah, and they died for their like because of their sins. And this storyline there was the flood, and Noah's Ark failed at saving anybody and wasn't able to be utilized because. So we see the second world. I think this plays into the second world, which is why I think maybe the split starts even further to the right than we think. I think if I can draw a line, I'd say it starts in between the first and second world text. If you draw a line like straight down practically, it kind of goes like right there. That's what I'm thinking.
What, the first world?
So the first world is up until the end of the bookbind on the left bookbind. That's the end of the first world. And the second world starts in that in between. You see where my mouse is? Can you see my screen?
Yes, I see your mouse.
So the second world starts from this portion and on. And that would fit in the whole the sea god like if when man killed the sun and became God and the sea god stormed. And the world flooded and it failed and they will never meet. So whether the sea god is Poseidon, which is an actual sea god in our own world mythology, and it could very well be the usage of ancient weapons, causing the world tides to rise and a lot of the ancient world sunken. There's a lot of possibility here. I know some people were thinking that. Yeah.
And like even the Arc Maxim being there, what the heck is it doing there, man?
Yeah, we see the Arc Maxim, and the fact that Nell had the plans or the idea of how to make it means that Burka, where he was from, had to have had a similar mural or reference to the Arc Maxim, which must be something that was utilized by the Sky Races to either get to the moon in the past. And that's where Nell's dream started, because he probably had information about how they used to live or move to the moon in the past using something like the Arc Maxim. And it was probably powered either by another flame or electricity like it now. And it had the capabilities to destroy stuff as we see by the lightning strike. Maybe the Arc Maxim originally was Uranus or one of the ancient weapons. Maybe it was just another type of art. And in this case, a successful art. Unlike the Noah's Ark wasn't used, this one was able to take the Sky Race to the moon to avoid the flood until they were able to come down and create the Sky Islands and such.
It's very interesting. I also see like trying to strike that king. Trying to strike that king from doing something. Like trying to stop somebody out.
And that could also play the fact. Let's say this is Emu on top of the red line or on Earth, riding, waves or whatever. I don't know. Maybe he's on a boat. it could fit into the whole notion that overtaking the Lunarians from their homeland. Because the Lunarians lived on top of the Red Line, which was after the First World, because the First World, we see the Earth God raged, and with its serpent of hellfire shrouded the world in darkness, and they will never meet. And we know the whole concept of, you said, what did Dory say about the Red Serpent, right?
They said that their combined attacks can damage anybody but the blood-soaked serpent, which is referring to the Red Line.
The Red Line. So the Earth God created an red Earth structure around the world called, the Red Line, as it was, or the Serpent of Hellfire. And after this fact, the Lunarians lived atop it, and they were considered like gods, right? So the Lunarians are, in essence, these very powerful race that is nigh invincible, as we saw from King when the flames are on, and that's fire as well. So they had fire powers. They have the ability to fly or glide, and they have insane defense and speed. So they were viewed as gods. Now the Celestial Dragons and Emu overtook them, or maybe the Lunarians died from disease or whatever. But something happened to the Lunarians, for the most part. And something to think about too is that maybe part of this is that the regular people of the Earth were using the Mother Flame to try to become like the Lunarians. They were trying to, harness this fire energy and become like gods, kind of like the Tower of Babel. Like Tower of Babel. Yeah.
Let's read the first world and then the second world quickly. And the earth there was fire, mankind succumbed to greed and touched the forbidden sun. The enslaved prayed, and the sun god appeared. Earth god raged, and with its serpent of hellfire, shrouded the world in death and darkness. I want to put more attention on its. Earth god had some sort of serpent it was able to command, was able to create. Second world, within the world there was breath, the forest god tamed demons, and the sun spreads the fires of war. Those are the half moon dream, those are the mankind dream. Man killed the sun and became god. The sea got stormed, and they'll never meet. I'm very confused, as if the serpent on the right side and then the dragon on the left side, they're not the same faction.
No.
They're not the same faction at all.
No. Because
they seem to be fighting
each other.
Yeah. Could it be? This is wild of a call. Emu is a god, is one of the gods, that ate a god devil fruit. Technically, Emu has powers of two different gods. This is what we see in the left side of the panel. Part dragon, and it has like aspects of the serpent.
Interesting.
It's a wild call. It's definitely outlandish, but I think there's some truth to seeing that Emu not only has like forest god abilities that can give devil fruit powers, but also has power over the land of the earth.
So let's go along this line that maybe Emu is the earth god. I think the tree here is, and these little things on it are the devil fruits. I think this may be the wood god. Like trees have been referred to as these holy and powerful entities in the story books. And I think the tree that these devil fruits come from, I think this is the wood god, the forest god. But I think you're line of thinking that this entity here is the earth god. It could make sense, but it's also interesting to think about is why is it coming from the sky? And why is it breathing fire? Like, this is it seems like a dragon, right?
Yes.
And
it is a dragon, a big ass dragon.
Yeah, and it's coming from the sky. And we know the name Celestial Dragons, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are there dragons maybe on the other planets in the One Piece world, the other moons? Are those Celestial Dragons did Emu or some of them, or maybe this celestial dragon entity came from the sky. Or is this not even any of the gods? It's just something else that was, causing, the war. But it looks very similar to this thing here. Like, these look like the wing things over here, the horns, right?
Yes. It looks very much of a likeness of both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Emu as a god also ate a devil fruit,
Yeah.
having two different types of powers. Oh.
Also, this could be that something to think about is that maybe this is symbolizing Emu overtaking the red line.
And like the first stage of Emu?
Yeah. Like this is like early Emu, before the Void Century, when Emu led either or just by himself or with the Celestial Dragons overtaking the red line and becoming the rulers. The first part of their plan.
This could be full zone form Emu?
This could be the full zone form, and this on the left is like, maybe a hybrid. Because we know the hybrid is the strongest form, right?
Yes.
So let's see. So this seems like this must be the serpent, or maybe this is Earth God itself, and it's utilizing a serpent of its power, something like that. I think this is the serpent, though, with hellfire.
It is definitely a serpent, yeah.
And something to think about is in Norse mythology, who gave birth to a serpent? Loki. The world serpent. Yeah, Jormungandr. Loki is the parent of that serpent, the world serpent. And we know this whole thing of Loki got this really OP Albaford. What are the odds that, maybe the Earth God isn't like Gaia and Mother Nature in a sense, and Emu has maybe the Earth God could just be the devil that Loki has, and maybe the original Earth God, whoever they were, or what they were, they started the red line and separation because of what the people were doing, and totally separate than the sun god. The sun god liberating people, the Earth god raged. I think the Earth god maybe was raging at the fact that there was all this mining and pollution of the world. I feel like it could be just separate.
It could very much be separate. I just think it would be cool to see like a top villain have two different types of powers, like Blackbeard.
Do you think Blackbeard could be symbolizing like the fact that Emu could have two different fruits? It's kind of like in a way, the same way Nell and Sepia kind of foreshadows and outlines like larger One Piece story in a way. I think so. I think Sepia was meant to be kind of like a micro story of a larger story. And maybe Blackbeard, being introduced in Jaya, and the whole thing of like, no, it's not him, it's they, and like what you're saying, maybe Blackbeard is the next Emu. The whole notion of rocks want to become the king of the world type thing, like, and how Blackbeard wants to become a celestial dragon all of a sudden, or king of a country. Maybe Blackbeard's plan is kind of like to replace Emu, like kind of like Black Zetsu betraying Mana in a way. Like maybe Emu's kind of like Emu's been on top for a while. Maybe two devil fruits, maybe not. But kind of Emu's been the king of the world. And Blackbeard's like, I want to be what Emu is. Like Blackbeard wants to replace Emu. Blackbeard doesn't want to change the system. Blackbeard wants to become the top dog. And the fastest way is to just kill Emu and become Emu instead.
Like take over?
Yeah. Like that's one angle to go at, because then that sets up really Blackbeard being the final villain. Because right now I feel like the whole debate is who's the final villain. Blackbeard, seemingly the main rival for the One Piece, seemingly, or is it Emu and the world government? And I feel like the larger story paints Emu as the larger villain, right? The main villain with the world government. But maybe with it being really a pirate story to its core, maybe the main rival for Luffy is Blackbeard, the one who wants to beat him to the One Piece or something. I feel like there's a lot to look into here.
There's so much to think about. There's also like so many questions now. First from this mural itself, and it's really hard to go off anything, but it gives us some information too, so it's really confusing.
Yeah. Also something to think about is the whole Garden of Eden thing and the forbidden fruit. And this whole notion that devil fruits are kind of like the forbidden fruit. These are the trees from the Eve. The fruits seemingly from the Eve tree. The original, person that sinned in that story. Who was tempted by the snake to take of the fruit, You
think there's some sort of manipulation?
Yeah, like somebody I feel like there's more to the Adam Eve story that must be played in here. Kind of like with the whole expulsion from the Garden of Eden, and we know Mary Joa, the Lunarians were expelled. Maybe the Lunarians, what killed them was becoming devil fruit users, and they not realizing that it was cursed to not being able to swim. Maybe they tried to swim and they drowned. Maybe some other things. Maybe Emu was kind of like, the snake that tricks them. There's a lot of options here. We also know from
God dang it, Emu.
We also know from history, Emperor Nero, right? Emperor Nero. Who was Emperor Nero? He was the one that I'm pretty sure burned Rome, right?
Emperor Nero?
Right.
Let me see. Burn down Rome. Yep, Emperor Nero. Great Fire in 64 CE. Yeah.
It was a plan to clear the land for his planned Golden House. And he used the Christians as scapegoats for the fire that burned their lives, okay. So he framed them and he used the fire to build this Golden Palace. Very possible that part of this is how maybe Emu, scapegoated or tricked the Lunarians in a way and used that, to clear them out. Maybe he flooded the world and that killed off the early devil fruit users. And then maybe those were Lunarians, and that's how he took over the Red Line. I feel like something within the whole Garden of Eden, Emperor Nero story plays into how the Red Line may have been overtaken, right? I feel like it's very possible here. And then let's start getting into the next part of the second world story, and we see that the sun spread the fires of war. Those are the half moon dreams. Those are the moon dreams. Man killed the sun and became God, and the sea gods stormed, and they will never meet. So it doesn't say and man killed the sun and became God. This could very well play into how Emu and the Celestial Dragons killed Joy Boy.
They took down Nika. They took down Joy Boy. And that means there's no opposition left. So they created their own agenda.
Exactly. And part of it is that they became gods. Because we know the Celestial Dragons view themselves and make sure that they're revered as gods, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So this plays into that. And I think something that's interesting in both is that and they will never meet. I don't understand who the they is. Is this the sun god and the sea god in this case? Is this in the first one, is that the sun god and the earth god? Is that the what does that mean? And there's a lot
sun and the sun god?
Yeah, it says and they will never meet.
Or the language between the sun and the sun god. The sun god obviously talked about Nika. But when it comes to talk about the sun, it talks about it more of a negative tense. When it comes to desire, it comes to forbidden sun, or the sun spread the fires of war. It's easy to get that mixed up with the sun god.
Yeah.
and say like, "Oh, Nika spread the fires of war." We did get a confirmation from the past that like there was a Nika that was very destructive,
Mm-hmm.
very powerful. Maybe it could be talking about the same thing. I don't know, but from here it seems that the sun is talking about something else, just based off language.
Yeah. And it's also interesting. It's like what you're saying. It's like we get the term used the sun god. Sometimes we get the term the sun. Like it's very weird.
Yeah, it's extremely weird.
We see here on the left, it looks like this big devilish entity. I think it's quite possibly. I think we're meant to believe that's Emu. On the left, the stuff going from the left to the right is the celestial dragons and their allied forces. It seems that we have on the top possibly with a fire over their head. This looks like maybe a Lunarian. We see at the top the whales and people on top of the whales. And we know the whales are like Laboon and the whales. They're very important. They hate the red line too. We see here
It's
what
not
looks like
it's not.
yeah. We see a big mink-looking thing. People are saying this could be Sulong. I think it's very possibly Sulong. We see here Emmet. I think this is very clearly Emmet. I think this is the very clear. One of the most
I think this picture is detailing the second world, the second war, Joy Boy's crew.
Yeah.
That fox with the sword is part of Joy Boy's crew.
Yeah.
That Poseidon figure.
I think that
also
is Poseidon. I think that's Poseidon leading. You see the fisherman. I think it's supposed to symbolize the fisherman and the sea monsters. I think this very well is Poseidon. Right.
Who's that warrior to the left, though? The one, the sword
I think that's a giant, and I think behind it is an ancient giant.
Yeah.
Let's say
Or the
first, and the giants. We see the samurai and the ninja here. We see what quite possibly looks like the Kuja here. I think this is the Kuja. 100%. I think this is the Kuja pirates, like the Amazon warriors.
No, it may not be. Look at Nika's shield.
Yeah, it's the sun. Like look at the Kuja pirates logo. Look at the Kuja.
Where? The Kuja pirates logo. I'm
pretty sure it's the Kuja. Kuja pirates. No, they have the snake thing.
And yeah, there's no snakes.
Let's see.
The ship looks similar.
The ship looks similar-ish. The ship does, but the symbol is on Alabasta.
So like this grand fleet underneath, like look at Joba having all these different ships.
Alabasta has the same sun symbol, by the way.
That's okay, so it's probably Alabasta. How
and Neptune has that tattoo on him. Other characters have this kind of shield. The Kozuki symbol with the swan has it on its chest. The Shanians have kind of like something tattooed on them, similar. I think that's just the symbol of the sun, like Joy Boy's allies. I think that's like an ally symbol. So this very well could be, Alabasta, and something to think about is Lily never made it to Alabasta.
Never.
But why would the allies depict Lily fighting Emu? Emu didn't know about Lily doing anything. We know Lily, I don't think, fought directly. And Alabasta would be on the side of the 20 Kings, if anything, during this fight. That's what makes me think this isn't Alabasta. I think Alabasta, after the fact, kind of shows its true colors of being kind of like a double agent, in a way.
Mm.
I really think this is more likely the Kuja. And this is just a symbol of the allied forces. Like the Nika. Or this could just be like from the ancient kingdom. Like this could just be Nika's like Joy Boy's group directly.
I think it's just Joy Boy's group. I don't know if they're necessarily the Alabasta, but we gotta figure out that symbol, bro.
Yeah. What do we think about Lily, her ship either sinking on her way back to Alabasta, Or maybe she and her crew got shipwrecked on Amazon Lily, and only maybe only the woman survived. Maybe they're the starters of Amazon Lily. I don't know. Very possible.
Very possible.
We see on the bottom it just looks like a bunch of different groups. I feel like this symbolizes the rest of the human races fighting with Troy Boy. Yeah.
Yeah, there's the more governments and people fighting on Emu side and all the way on the left.
Yeah. And he's holding a sun. Something interesting here is that this is clearly a sun. Unlike the mother flames that are possibly being mined on the right, and that show up all sparkled around the whole page, like stars in the sky, kind of. This is very clearly a sun. Like the sun has been stolen.
The sun has been stolen.
Is this just trying to be more clear about what these other things are? Like, this is just like a child's quick drawing of what the sun is, like the mother flame, and this is the real mother flame? Did Emu actually steal the sun? Did they yummy? Like could when Joy Boy here with the windy arm, spearheading the charge to fight Emu. And we see a similar kind of character in the Skypian ruins fighting kind of like an Orochi-headed snake figure in the past.
Who was fighting this Orochi-headed snake figure?
So in Skypian, when Robin's going through the ruins of Shandia, we see a warrior that looks kind of like it might be Nika fighting another warrior but with serpent heads.
Well, yeah,
which makes me think that either this symbolizes maybe this fight, maybe this symbolizes another fight. Maybe Orochi, the earlier user of Orochi's fruit, was a different evil entity that Nika defeated in the past, like Perseus defeating Medusa or the Stash. I feel like there's a lot at play here. I feel like Oda seems to combine the different religions and mythos into the story here. Like we have Judaism, Christianity stuff. We have Norse mythology, Greek / Roman mythology. There's a lot of things. There's even Japanese mythology. A lot of things are in Chinese mythology. There's a lot of stuff mixed in here, right?
Yes. There's a lot of different cultures mixed into this.
Mm-hmm. What do you think this symbolizes here? Really? Like what does this mean that? What looks like
control. Emu has everything down pat. There's no way of winning.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of looks like Emu's kind of like casting a spell.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Like, do we see the energy sparks flying?
Do we think that they're trying to reclaim this, or that Emu stole it and that initiated the war?
Very possible. That's what's like it's the energy source, but like it's very very possible that Emu's trying to destroy it.
Like Emu could be trying to just kill the sun. Is this okay? So this could just be killing the sun, symbolizing that, or taking the power source. And then next we have the third world. Within the chaos there was emptiness, inconvenient remnants recall the promised day, hear the voice of the half moon. So this is the current world. The sun god dances and laughs, Luffy, guiding the world to its end, which is bringing it to the next destruction that was prophesied by in Fish Phenomenon that Luffy destroys the Red Line, and I guess which probably symbolizes defeating the world government, and brings a new morning, brings the dawn, which has also been talked about in Wano, and they will surely meet. And this time it says they will surely meet. So it seems that they either is within each of the own texts, or it's a consistent thing about who will meet who. It seems that there's someone or something that Luffy needs to meet that ties in everything. And he's going to be the final Joy Boy, the final Nika that wins. The first Nika wasn't as successful. He only liberated so much. Slavery still continued. The world ended in that world. In the second world, Joy Boy fought Emu, lost. He was a failed Nika, especially because he was a huge war, destruction Nika. There wasn't so much, I guess, liberation possibly. There was a lot more war. And now Luffy is a big war and liberation. He's tying in both Joy Boy and Nika and fusing it together and being the one that finishes everything and actually is a successful Nika. He's like the final Messiah in a way. Like these were kind of like failed Messiahs. Luffy's like the final, the third, he's the... Yeah, he's the Zanagaib, exactly. So... I think we're going to see a lot of parallels with the ancient world and now within the final fight, but this time Luffy's going to do the thing that's going to make them win. And I think what's different from Luffy to Joy Boy is Joy Boy possibly had traitors in his midst, or people that did something wrong that caused him to lose, like maybe Zunisha. This time, I think the way Luffy's personality and how it's been going, I don't think Luffy's set up to not have that happen. I think it's set up that Luffy will actually have moved in to have parts of the enemy actually turn coats on the world government, as we see the Fujitora, as we see with Kobe and Sword, as we see with some of the Celestial Dragons, even Whale's Guard, Don Quixote's Guard, and Don Quixote family overall becoming good. Shanks, like the Celestial Dragons are losing people to Luffy's side. And I think that's going to be an important key factor in the final war.
Yes, I think that the truth is coming out, and that they're truly righteous people are choosing the truly righteous side. Mm-hmm. Their whole aspect of pirates and Marines have been so skewed, but we've seen from the beginning that even though the Navy's been pasted pirates as evil, that there are good pirates out there, just like the Navy's been posted as good, that there are really evil government, really evil Navy out there. We see that time again. It's just a thing that's has been skewed by the government, changing these definitions of what pirates truly are and what Marines are. So if people are waking up, seeing the pirates are actually onto something good, and that the government's actually hiding stuff. For example, Vegapunk's announcement about how the government's corrupt, about how they're covering up this whole event between also not sharing the world's flooding, and how they're just chilling on top of the red line. People are waking up, Marines are waking up, and the Celestial Dragons are waking up.
I think that makes sense. And I think the half moon symbolizes. I think you said this before to me, I think outside this call, but it symbolizes the decline and their allies. I think the full moon quite possibly symbolizes Lunarians and maybe the sky races, or a reflection of the sun. Maybe that represents the allies and the half moon is the decline. But that's what it seems to be, the reference here is, the promised day, hear the voice of the half moon. The decline calling out for, everybody to come together and fight against the government. And I think we're seeing here is that the prophecy is that Luffy will succeed. The third time's the charm type thing. And I think before we go, I think one last thing. I want to hear, who do you think should the four gods are in the current day, or let's say if the forest god, for example, is just a tree, or is that someone? Who are the four now? What do you think?
Earth god. No, I'll go say what I know so far. Sun god's Luffy, of course. Mm-hmm. Then we got forest god. Easy answer is Green Bull, but I think it's more than that.
Okay.
Might be Emu.
Okay.
Earth God, Sea God. Sea God, I don't know. Earth God might actually be like someone like we don't know, but maybe Loki is a god fruit.
Yeah, I was thinking
either
along those lines too.
yeah, and Sea God, I don't know. I think Sea God is not Emu. I don't know if it's Emu, man.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of a coincidence. I think actually emu might be weak to water because they're a demon. They're a devil.
Yeah. I think that part of that fits in how the whole emu sits on top of the red line and doesn't move because they can't go to the water.
Yeah, scared of the water. They're gonna melt in the water like a wicked witch.
Exactly. And I'm thinking with that the sea god may be a neutral or an ally of the sun god, which makes me really think Poseidon, or maybe earlier in Skypiea was called the rain god, maybe Dragon. Maybe Dragon has the storm and rain fruit, and he's that god. And Luffy and him haven't met yet really, and maybe it's time for them to meet. Two members of the Deke clan of the same family. They come together and they reunite to finish it once and for all. Dragons for a long time wanted to take down the world government. It seems maybe if the sea god is that one that is angry at the world government for killing Joy Boy, it reincarnates into Dragon to fulfill that.
So Dragon is a sea god.
Dragon, I feel like could be the sea god or Poseidon, and that's Shirahoshi. And that's my two for the sea god. Or if there maybe the sea gods and rain gods are separate. The sea gods, Shirahoshi, rain gods, Dragon, something along those lines. I think the earth god could be Loki. If the earth god created Jormungandr, and Loki, in the stories is the creator of Jormungandr, I think Loki may be having the earth god fruit. And I think the forest god, like you said, I think it's either Emu or the Eve tree, or some type of thing of both in a way. Like Emu is the forest god, but utilizes the Eve tree in that way, or something along those lines. But it could also be that Emu could just be
remember in the One Piece film Red, Uta's devil fruit was connected to an ancient deity.
Yeah.
The demon.
Yeah.
She was just able to like completely summon the demon, while still being conscious necessarily.
Yeah.
Could it be that these god fruits? Yeah, could it be that these devil fruits, or like these god fruits, for example, could have a tie-in to the ancient weapons, just like how Luffy essentially his fruit is kind of tied to the eternal flame, theoretically. So we could say that the Pluton is connected to the sea god. You could say that Uranus is connected to the. No, there's one of the weapons like either Pluton or Uranus, which connects to the Earth.
Pluton could be the Earth because Pluton is the god of underworld, and then this is a serpent of hellfire.
Yes. And then, Poseidon's sea.
Yeah. And Uranus is the
sky. Okay, I think my theory falls flat there.
All I was going to think about is that there are other god fruits. Like we know there's the Buddha fruit, and it's literally been stated that that was a god. So there may be just other gods from the old world that we just don't know.
Like lesser gods.
Either lesser or just not relevant to the main story in a way, but maybe relevant later. I feel like there's a lot more here to think about.
It could be like Buddha was just like a person, with powers, like how Nika was.
Could very well be.
Would be cool to get an origin of the gods, like the story before the story, the first world before the first world.
Yeah, we have this whole notion of the void century, but there's really just a whole world before that.
Yes, there's a whole world. There's a whole where did the Ryuma take place?
I think that the going theory in that part of it is that it's either in the Void Century or after that by a little bit, something like that.
Cool.
Yeah, back when dragons were still around. Real dragons.
There weren't devil fruits by that time.
Maybe.
Right?
Well, I don't know if we can fully take Wanted as 100% canon, but based on the we just don't see devil fruits in that one shot.
Yeah.
Okay. That's some good stuff. I feel like a lot's gone through. I feel like this opens a lot of mysteries to unpack and stuff that get resolved. But I feel like this sets up the outline of how to build a One Piece story. And I think going forward and rereading the story, we have to fit the pieces together.
Yes, I think that we definitely created some sort of framework, or we kind of filled in a lot of details, and it's really up to Oda to give us more information so we can figure out what the mystery is.
Yeah. This is awesome. I love this.
Yeah, this was awesome.
Okay. You want to sign us off?
Well, thank you guys for tuning in. This won't be the only time, but we appreciate you so much. Thanks for listening to our thoughts.
Thank you. Okay. See you, bro.
See you.